Hi, it's Tisha Powell. You're watching US Business News. Today's money topic, real estate. We are going to discuss with you the 7 ways people are cashing in on real estate in the United States and around the world, or they're getting rich. What are people doing? Number 1, they're buying a home. How can buying a home make you rich? Simple. Once you have the mortgage, it lasts for 30 to 40 years. You pay your mortgage in installments. Every month you pay something. It's a fixed installment. A classic example is like maybe it's $3,000 per month for 30 years or 40 years. Let's say you buy that at 18. In 30 years, you'll be 48 years old. You'll be debt free. It means that $3,000 is gone. So you'll be saving $3,000 a month. If you buy real estate, you'll be living rent free eventually once you pay off the mortgage. Number 2, people are cashing in or making wealth from real estate through this thing called appreciation. Let me show you how appreciation. Welcome back to Talk Time. I'm your host, Tisha Powell. So as I was saying earlier, the second way people are getting rich, they're getting debt free from real estate, is through appreciation. Let's say you purchased the property, the purchase price for $500,000. And it appreciates. You got an appraisal 2-3 years after, and it appreciates for $900,000. What do you think is happening to the difference? You subtract $900 for the appreciation minus how much the purchase price was. That's $400,000. What's that $400,000? That's appreciation. That's equity in your property. So that's like a piggy bank right there. Now you see why people like real estate. So let's say that the $400,000. How are you going to get the $400,000? You'll have to sell the property, which means that you'll subtract 9 from 5, 4, then pay some cost. Number 2, you can refinance and cash out. However, a lender will never give you the full amount of the equity. Why is that? Because they need you to have some skin in the game. They have to make sure you're not going to just take the money and run and they're holding the bank, the hole in the bag. So they'll probably lend you a percentage. So I'm just going to use rough numbers. So you could refinance and cash out, let's say $100,000, or you could do a line of credit, like a second mortgage for like $100,000. You'll not be able to do a line of credit for the full amount because lenders will not. So what can you do with the $100,000 that you cash out? It depends who you are. If you're a spender, you're going to take vacations with the money. If you are thinking wisely, you'll invest this $100,000 into another asset class. So some people will use the $100,000 and they'll buy another property, which makes it 2. Then they'll rent one out and live in one. Other people put $100,000, let's say, in their 401 or Bitcoin. They'll put their money somewhere in another investment. Some people use $100,000 to start that dream business they always wanted. And then some people are using $100,000 to go to college. So I'm just saying that use it, invest in asset. Be careful, because if you use the cash wrongly, if you use the cash wrong, you can go literally broke or have. Another way people are saving or getting rich from real estate is tax savings. In the United States, when you own real property, real estate, you get a tax break. Let me give you a classic example. Let's say your mortgage is $3,000 a year, a month, and that's $36,000 1 year. You could probably deduct the interest, or if it's a second home or a third home, there may be depreciation. That could be a saving on your taxes. I'm just giving rough numbers of $5,000. So even though it's not selling the house, it's money in your pocket. And I tell you, this program is about real estate cash. This is how people are getting rich, or the reasons they want to buy real estate. People love on Zillow. You Google Zillow, or you go on a web page, you notice that all the properties in the neighborhood, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, they're selling for $400,000. And you notice that a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, let's just say the property's in Margate, Florida. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, this moment in time, I'm giving an example, is selling for $400,000. Then we say you see a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, same square footage, selling for $200,000. That's a flip. Why is that a flip? Because it's sure that the others are appraising for $4,000. I'm getting something for $2,000. Why would somebody, a seller, sell you a property for only $2,000? Because it needs work, or it's obeyed, or it's a wholesale. So an investor or a service buyer will go ahead, buy it for $2,000, and they will fix it, because there's going to be work needs to be done. Nobody's giving you a house for $2,000 if everything else around them is selling for $4,000. Obviously, it's work that needs to be done. Hire a handyman and do the work, or you're going to do sweat equity property and do it yourself. So there will be work needed to be done. And eventually, the goal is that your cost to do the work should not go over 400. So you purchase the property for 200. Maybe the work needs to be done is about 60. So that means that's 260,000 and the property is worth 400. How much you think is in your pocket? An extra 140,000 US dollar. Now you see why people are buying real estate. You see the cash coming from real estate. Okay, number 5, the 5th reason people buy real estate is to rent it out. Why would somebody buy real estate to rent it? Well, they purchased one, that's number 1, and now they're going on to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And by showing the equation earlier, you're pulling money out of the first one. You just need to get one. To get started in real estate, you just need to get one. It eventually will appreciate with over time. Real estate goes up, tend to go up in value. So if you buy one and you keep paying the mortgage, eventually you'll have appreciation. So you could pull out and then go to the second one, or pull out and go to 2, 3 more. So people like to do that. Other people's money, other people's time. That's how you get wealthy, through other people's money and other people's time. So you get the second property, and when you get that second property, you rent it out. The trick is to make sure the rent covers the mortgage and give you some in your pocket. Okay, when we talk about a mortgage, we're talking about the principal owed on the mortgage every month, the interest you pay to borrow the money every month, taxes on the property, and all the insurance. Okay, PITI, principal, interest, tax, insurance. That is your carrying cost every month until you pay off the mortgage. We'll subscribe right now. We're going to bring another show on how to pay off your mortgage within the 30 years. So subscribe, hit that subscribe button right now, because we are going to be covering more real estate shows, because my producer is telling me we don't have enough time, because I wanted to cover with you other stuff like how to find a deal, but we'll cover that another time. And also when you subscribe, you get to communicate and tell me what other financial programs you want us to bring. I'm a former Wall Street attorney. We can talk money. A lot of people now in this world and this country, they are not money savvy anymore. They do not teach money in schools, and that's a problem. If they're not teaching it, get on YouTube and learn all you can about money. To be literate when it comes to money. You cannot handle money until you understand it. One way to understand money, programs like this that talks money. When we talked about the rental property, so you get one, hold on, keep paying the mortgage every month. Eventually you get the appreciation, and then you're going to cash out. You're going to go for a line of credit or refi, cash out. Get the money, you buy the second one. Then you're going to get a mortgage on that one as well. The lender will give you a mortgage if you, within qualifications, maybe more down payment. So you'll get the property, and then what's going to happen is that you are going to rent it out. You've got to rent it for more than what your mortgage is worth. If you rent it for less than what the mortgage is worth, you're going to be in trouble. So let me give you an example. Let's say your principal, interest, tax, insurance, that is your mortgage payment every month for 30 years or 40 years or 15 years or 20 years. Depends what country you live in and what jurisdiction in America you live in. Principal, interest, tax, insurance, let's say that's $2,000 a month. Rent is $3,600 a month. What happens there? You pay the mortgage. So you pay your mortgage for $2,000. There's an extra $1,600 in your bank account. What are you going to do? Give it back to the tenant? No. That's your income, but you didn't work for it. Oh, wow. It's called passive income. Other people's money, other people's time. You did nothing but rented out a property, and every month like that, the tenant pays and you collect. Okay, now I've got to tell you something. The drawback, the passive income doesn't always work. Sometimes the mortgage is going to be more than the rent. At that point, it's a negative cash flow and you're really in trouble. Why would somebody take that on? Because they're looking appreciation. They're speculating on appreciation. Be very careful, it's dangerous. So we talked about renting it out. Number 6, how do they get rich from it? They scale the rent. Not only do they buy one, so they live in one, they do another rental, they keep going and buying more and more. And before you know it, they probably have 5. And they're all cash flowing at 1,600. 16 at 5, they're making $9,000 a month. Not even working. Okay. Another way that people are getting rich from real estate, they are doing REITA. So you do not need to own the property. What they're doing is investing in trust that owns real estate. And another way people are getting rich in real estate, they're Airbnb-ing the properties, okay? And sometimes you don't even need to own a property to get rich from real estate, but we run out of time. I'll talk more. Go ahead and subscribe. Our next program is how you can own or how you can get rich from real estate without even owning the property. You will need a job though, and you will need credit. But we're going to show you the new ways. Generation Z is showing us how to make money from real estate. So subscribe and we'll be sending out other stuff. So subscribe and we'll bring that show soon. It's got something to do with Airbnb. I'm Tishpa. Thank you all for watching. See you real soon.